This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter. I welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe on the state. And I do apologize if you hear in the background some kind of noise because it is my heater coming on at the wrong time, but it doesn't matter. So, on this day for January the 22nd in 2013, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, sorry, 2012, 12 years ago. What am I thinking? I'm thinking the 2012 NFL season, which is technically wrong. Anyway, the New England Patriots would take on the Baltimore Ravens in a very tight AFC title game. Meanwhile, in the NFC, it was the New England Patriots and the it was the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers, hoping to do a classic in the NFC title game. So anyway, the first title game of January 22nd, 2012 was the Pats versus the Ravens. And in a very cloudy and cold Foxborough, the Ravens were hoping to take down the Patriots after taking down Houston in the divisional round, whereas the Patriots crushed the Broncos on home turf 45-10. So anyway, the first quarter was kind of boring. Only one scoring play, and that was Stephen Gostkowski's field goal. And then in the second quarter, the Ravens tied it on a Billy Cundiff field goal. Then the Patriots drove down the field, and thanks to Ben Jarvis Green Ellis's great running attack, including a 7-yard touchdown run, Pats were back on top. Baltimore would strike back as they drove, as Joe Flacco had some good passing and found Dennis Pitta into the end zone, tied the game at 10. Gostkowski kicked the field goal to make it 13-10, and we were done one half of football. So anyway, the Patriots got to the 6-yard line of the Ravens, but couldn't score a touchdown. They kicked the field goal. It was 16-10. Then later on, Joe Flacco had a key pass to Torrey Smith, who ran it in for the score. And the Ravens were up 17-16. The Pats would fumble the kickoff, and Baltimore would kick a field goal to make it 20-16. The Ravens. And then the defense worked out. So on 4th and goal at the 1-yard line, Brady decided to take the ball himself and run for a quarterback keeper. And he did. He dove over the pile. It was 23-20. Anyway, the Patriots picked off to a Flacco and it was almost game over, but Brady threw an interception himself into the end zone, and Jimmy Smith got it. He managed to get to the Baltimore 39-yard line after that play. Baltimore did turn the ball over, and it was over, seemingly, with 1:44 seconds left. Regardless of that, the Ravens defense would force a punt, so they got the ball back. And they got to the Patriots' 13-yard line, so at worst it could have been a field goal to tie the game. But Jakar Moore made a couple of key plays in the end zone to deflect the pass. And then Evans actually appeared to have had a touchdown, but Moore knocked the ball out of his hands before he held it long enough for reception. I don't know what the reception rule is in the NFL, but I think you have to catch the ball for like 3 seconds. And then they'll award you the touchdown. Then Moore broke up a play for Pitta at the 2-yard line, which would have been huge. Then they decided to go for a 32-yard field goal to tie the game. And this would have been huge. But somehow, in some way, kind of really fumbled that kick. And it went way wide left. And the Ravens were left with egg on their face as the Patriots survived and would go on to the Super Bowl. Flacco did well, throwing for 206 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And Bolden did pretty well, catching for 101 yards receiving. Tom Brady put up his 16th postseason win, which made him tie Joe Montana for the NFL lead. And he would also join John Elway in playing at least 5 Super Bowls at that time. They found out that the football that Billy Cundiff kicked was not correct, that the football's laces were not outward, meaning that Cundiff would have kicked into the laces and deflected the ball. So that was a terrible miss on Cundiff's part. A lot of people said that Maya Kraft, who was Robert Kraft's wife, who died during the season, had some divine intervention and all that, and made the kick go wide left. Regardless, the Patriots were going to the Super Bowl, but none of the Ravens players blamed everything on Cundiff, so it looked pretty good and all that. But then the Giants and Niners would play the NFC title game later on. In a driving rain, 11 Celsius was the game time temperature. It was a huge one. In fact, for the third time in 5 years, the NFC title game went to overtime. Anyway, the Giants had only 9 wins in their season, so the Giants would have to make a lot of wild card moves and all that. The Giants had beaten the Packers, shocking the 15-1 Green Bay Packers, 37-20 in Green Bay. Everyone thought Green Bay was going to be the Super Bowl team from the NFC. I mean, you win 15 games, you should be able to get to at least the Super Bowl, but they didn't. So the Giants got to the playoffs with 9 wins and got to the NFC title game. Anyway, the Niners coming off a win over the Saints in which they had to win in the last few seconds. I would say a Vernon Davis catch. And so basically the Niners did score first as Alex Smith got a good pass to Vernon Davis and he broke through the defense for a 73-yard touchdown pass. Regardless of all that, the Giants tried their best and all that. The Giants would tie the game as Eli found Bear Pasco in the end zone for 6 yards to tie the game. And then Lawrence Tynes, the former CFLer, if you must know, kicked a 31-yard field goal to make it 10-7 Giants. So anyway, the Niners didn't go down without a fight. As Smith found Vernon Davis for another touchdown to make it 14-10 Niners. So anyway, it would be 14-10 headed to the fourth quarter. And there were a lot of things going on with that. So anyway, after a Steve Rutherford punt, Kyle Williams of the Niners was ready to field the ball at the 38. And the ball hit the turf at the 45, bounced back towards Williams, who decided to let the ball continue rolling down the field, knowing that if he touches it, he could be in trouble. So anyway, a Giants receiver, Devin Thomas, caught the ball at the 30. So that would be at the 30-yard line for the Niners to start. But one problem, though. Tom Coughlin, the Giants coach, saw something and decided to go with the red challenge flag, thinking that Kyle Williams had touched the ball, meaning that it was a free play and anyone could have recovered it. So anyway, they threw the challenge flag, and the ball did touch Williams' right knee when he tried to field it. And so that was a play by Devin Thomas. He made the right move, and it was at the 7-29, so the Giants had possession. And Manning found Manningham, the former Michigan guy. Mario Manningham, Michigan, and that's alliteration. And it made it 17-14 Giants. The Niners would put up successive first downs, including an illegal use of hands on the defense. Akers would kick field goal to tie the game at 17, and nothing else happened, so it was overtime. So anyway, the Giants elected to receive, obviously. Why wouldn't you? They had to punt the ball. So that means that the Niners would get possession. But they had to punt. The Giants tried their stuff, and they went for their second punt of overtime and 12th of the game. Rutherford kicked the punt, and Kyle Williams fielded the kick. And then somehow, in some way, a Giants linebacker reached in, stripped the ball from Williams, and Thomas recovered it at the San Fran 24. Meaning, it was a fumble. And the Niners lost possession, and the Giants had been in Tynes field goal possession. So anyway, they got to the 6-yard line. And Tynes would have a 26-yard field goal attempt. However, there was a delay of game penalty. So that means it was a 5-yard call. So that the Giants had to go 5 yards backwards. But after the Niners tried to ice Tynes by calling timeout, Tynes kicked the field goal, game over. And the Giants did it to the Niners again. It brought shades back of 1991 when the Giants broke up the Niners' three-peat by winning field goal, this time by Matt Barr. So anyway, it was just unbelievable how the Niners could botch it. Well, that poor Kyle Williams, the punt returner. He muffed 2 punts and the Giants took advantage of it. The Niners were trying their best and all that, but they failed miserably. Manning did well, 32 for 58, 316 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Smith would only have 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Giants survived. The Niners and Giants had met 7 times prior to this game, and San Fran won 4. So the Giants tied up their ledger with the Niners, 4-4. That would lead to the Giants versus Patriots in the Super Bowl, which would lead to a great Super Bowl 46. Not for me, of course, being a Patriots fan. But anyway, the Giants won the Super Bowl and all that. And Kyle Williams would have to rue the day that he made those mistakes on the field. So 2 very good title games on the same day. Very good. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond.